So the unboxing of the Amazon Echo Dot second generation, by the way. So when everywhere was freaking out about these, I was like, I really want one. Never really had the opportunity to get one, but I picked this up for cheap enough at the price, so let's just see what it's like. I like this. This is cool. You already just see the logo. This thing was heavy as well. Like, it's not light, and it's the smaller version, so I mean, instantly cool. So it comes fairly well put together. The packaging is, I mean, power brick. It's really power brick is black and white with the Amazon and the tape and stuff. It's a USB, which is cool. Micro USB cable. Again, probably Amazon wrote on it somewhere. Long enough for what you need it for, I suppose. Then you got paperwork, and paperwork. We don't need that. This, and then we have the base of it all. It's got this little bit of rubber at the bottom to stop it from kind of sliding in, on slippery surfaces and stuff. 4 buttons, so like mute, volume up, volume down, and I don't know what that one is, but we will figure it out. Micro USB for the power, and aux cable as well, because you can connect this up like with Bluetooth and with an aux cable to other speakers, because apparently the speaker sound isn't exactly fantastic on it. So let's just... yeah, man. So I went for the white option because I think it's cooler, it's nice, it's fresh, if I do say so myself. Let's boot this up just for a second, and then some juice. Hey, power. It's a really nice light, actually. Look at that. So that's the unboxing. 2-3 minutes. I like it. So let's hold on for the full review. Woo! So we're back with the comprehensive review on the Amazon Echo Dot. It's the second generation versions that they're rolling out from Amazon now. So as you know from the unboxing, I got the white edition. It's completely up to your own personal preference, black or white, you know, whichever deems your setup or house worthy, I suppose. So before we start this review, I have a question of the day. If you can, on a budget, would you convert either your house or your room to a smart room, e.g. smart lights and so on and so forth, smart TVs, blah blah blah? Let me know down below in the comments, and we'll talk there. So without further ado, let's jump on into this. I picked this up because I've wanted something like this for a long time. Okay, these things roll out for like 50 odd quid. So they're not terribly expensive. They're quite cheap, to be fair, for the stuff it can do. A product like this is good in multiple ways, because the more you use it, the more you kind of rely on it, if that makes sense. So like, the more you use an Echo, the more you find it can do. So I knew it could play Spotify, and stuff like that. It sets, like, the stuff it can do, it's crazy. So I mainly use it as an alarm for the mornings when I'm getting out of bed. Okay, and when it goes off, it lights up 2 shades of blue, so it's quite bright. It's the whole top ring is an LED strip. Okay, it's all across here. If I go Alexa, hopefully you guys can see that. Okay, it's pretty cool.
Sorry, I'm not sure.
It's pretty cool, so we won't be doing that again. The speaker is this model's downfall, apparently, according to every other review. I beg to differ. It has a speaker system of, like, 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest, 10 being the loudest, okay? So when its volume is 10, it is quite loud. The Dot is designed for a room, not a house, okay? So when you kind of establish that, everything else makes sense from there on in. Okay, so like in a bigger room, the dot doesn't, the microphone doesn't pick up as well as it should. But it's not designed for a big room, it's designed for a bedroom. Okay, so when I have it in my room, it works fine. I don't really have much problems with it. But if you have it in a bigger room, it's harder for you to hear the sound, for the microphone to hear you. Okay, so like the circular design is really nice, but I'll show you this. Hopefully y'all can see this, okay? All these little divots here inside the LED ring, that's the speaker. And then in here in the middle, right there, that's the microphone. Okay, so if you have the speakers up full blast, it doesn't register as well as if they were a bit lower. So I keep it between 6 to 8 is like, you know, depending on your preference and what you're doing with it. I like to keep mine between those 3, 6, 7 and 8, like at the volume at a constant kind of playing field, kind of, you know, across the board. It's a nice little volume. When you have it up full blast playing music from Spotify and stuff, it's very hard for the microphone to pick you up over your mic, over the music, where I showed you where the speaker was and stuff. If you've got a lot of stuff going on in the room or wherever you have it based, it's harder again for the microphone to pick you up because of the fact that there's so much input going into the microphone when it's, you know, when you call its name to you know, to use it. Like, these things connect to multiple other smart devices as well, so you can get like smart bulbs for your room, smart TV, you can even get smart kettles now. Anything smart, when you go through Amazon, it'll tell you, if you've got an Echo, it'll tell you that they're compatible. Okay, so that's a cool little thing if you're going to go down that route and you want to kind of pimp your room a little bit. You know, you can get all that for relatively cheap as well, depending on the brands you buy and so on and so forth. But I just think that this as the base of that would be a great investment. I absolutely love this thing. I really do. It's the best €50 I've spent in a long, long time, and that's not a lie. I do have a few issues with it. So I get up quite early for work every morning. So I set my alarm with the Echo. I'm going to refer to it as the Echo and not her actual name from now on, because it'll just wake her up and that's a whole mess. But in the mornings, I call her by her key phrase, say Echo in this instance, and I go turn off the alarm. So a couple of mornings, not every morning, but a couple of mornings since I started using it, it comes up telling me that there is no smart device connected and please connect one. Okay? Now that's kind of frustrating because you're trying not to wake everyone up, so you can't just scream at it. You know, you're kind of trying to whisper it, kind of just so it'll hear you above itself, you know, to be like turned it off. But that's like the biggest issue I have with it. The setup for this thing is the most tedious thing in the world. I will not lie to anyone. It took me a solid 20 minutes to connect this up properly and get it all up and running, and it is painful. I'm not going to lie. It's all done through the Alexa app on your phone. Okay, so you got to connect them and sync them up and connect it to your Wi-Fi, and then it has to boot and update, and it is very, very boring and tedious, but it is worth it. It really, really is, and I can't stress this enough, that how much worth it is. Like, so I learned that you can select, like, it has a skills section in the Amazon app. Nearly did it there. But hey, when you go through the app, it has a skill set, and it's essentially just like the Play Store or the App Store. Okay, so it has all these different skills, is what they call it, and you just install them, and then your Echo learns stuff. So it could be like facts of the day, cooking tips, word of the day, quotes by famous people, all this stuff. Okay, so like they're pretty handy. The reason I'm mentioning that is because if you buy one of these and it can't perform something you thought it could do, that is your first place to go and look. There's probably a skill for it. Okay, so running through facts of the day, say, or riddles, jokes, this thing does it all. But what the most impressive thing about this is it learns what you want it to do. Okay, so a couple of days ago I was playing some Spotify, heard a song on it, I asked it to play the Discovery playlist. Okay, so like it's not just limited to your Spotify, like whatever's in your your downloaded songs or whatever. It just plays from Spotify, whether it be a name of a song, an artist, a genre, it doesn't matter, it will play it. Okay, you can set it up that it won't play from Amazon Music by default, it'll play from Spotify by default, which is, I use Spotify, so it makes sense for me to do it that way. If you use Amazon Music, by all means, just go carry on the way it comes out of the box, okay? The only thing with Spotify is it'll only work with a Spotify premium account. So if you don't have a Spotify premium account, it won't work with Spotify for you, which is a bit of a bummer. But I mean, a lot of people just use Spotify premium because it doesn't break the bank as much anymore, I suppose. But I asked it one day anyway what the name of whatever track was playing was, and it told me that it couldn't do that right now. So I was like, okay, cool. I was saying to my friend, I was like, that'd be a really cool feature if it could do that one for me. Because, you hear a song, you got your buddies over, someone says, play this song, and you're like, oh, geez, I'm kind of vibing to that, like, that's pretty good. And then you holler and be like, what's the song? And it can't tell you. But if it could, it'd be cool. So anyway, the point of this story is I came home today and I asked it to play some Hozier because I was in that kind of a mood, just a chill mood. And I didn't recognise one of the songs that came on. So I went, no harm in trying. So I summoned her, I suppose, and asked her the name of the song, and I got the name of the song. So it learns what you want it to do, okay? Which is important because it makes things really easy on you. Okay, so this thing sets reminders as well. Like, this thing just does everything, really. Like, I could leave the video there, but I'll run through some more stuff in detail. It sets reminders, so you tell it a date, a time, and whatever, for whatever reminder it might be, it'll set it. If you're not home to hear her tell you the reminder, it texts your phone, like, through the app, so you can't forget. For me, that's really handy. It's also got 2 lists built into the app, okay? It's got your shopping list and a to-do list. So if you don't want to go down using loads of reminders all the time, but you've got stuff you want to do, you can do a to-do list. So you just call the name, Echo, remember, add do the washing onto today's to-do list. It goes straight there instantly, okay? She notifies you to tell you it's gone there. The only problem with that is you do need a Wi-Fi connection or some form of internet connection to access the lists, which is a little bit irritating. If you could access them offline, when you're not around your house or around Wi-Fi, that'd be better again. But I mean, it's 2018. Everyone has some form of data or Wi-Fi. The big LED strip at the top is probably what I like. Not the most, because it does so much better stuff. But because it's a circle, like I said, when you say Echo Volume 1, the bar will light up 1/10 of the LED, right? So if you go Volume 5, it'll go halfway. If you go Volume 7, it'll go like 7/10 of the way. I just think that's a quirky little feature. It lets you skip forward tracks and skip back tracks in Spotify. If you're listening to a podcast through it, which it does do, you can actually tell it to skip X amount of minutes in. So if you're listening to like the Joe Rogan podcast, for instance, right, and you go Echo skip 8 minutes in, it'll jump 8 minutes in for you. So it's relatively useful. Okay, it spits out everything for you. It's so handy. I would highly recommend purchasing one of these, one way or another, getting it as a present or buying it for someone or anything. Just these things are where we're going in life, I think. In my own opinion, this is where we're headed. The voice command on it is perfect, 9 out of 10 at the time. There is some key phrases that you do have to get word for word, but generally she picks everything up by like 3 or 4 keywords. Okay, so like some of the skills have phrases that you have to use word for word. Others, it loosely pick it up and it can do what you want it to do. But that's another just a little learning curve to be specific with what you're wanting it to perform for you. So that's all I got to say about this little bad boy. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And let me know if you're going to pick one of these up. And obviously, of course, she'll be linked down in the description below. I'll link the black and the white depending on your preference. And I'll see you in the next one. And thanks for watching. See ya!